But I prefer in the background. Hold on, let me just. My bad, y'all. What's good, boys? What's good, boys, girls, and everything in between? You know what it is. Well, you know what I'm saying? Hold on. Break your comfort zone in 38 minutes. Right?
Did you know that more
so
people
while y'all break
what's the
y'all
point of
comfort zone in 30 minutes, in the background though, type 5, I'm saying I'm gonna be like uploading this work, probably editing. That's why I'm like, yo, it might be like a little longer of a upload with me type shit. So y'all gonna have to break your comfort zone in 38 minutes. No mercy. Sounds lit. With my boy Wise Joe. Wisen up a little bit. I'm saying. And then, yeah, while I get this work right quick. You know?
Life between midnight and 3 a.m.? Did you know that more people Google, what's the point of life between midnight and 3 a.m. than any other time of day? Not how to get rich or how to be happy or how to get abs without moving, but straight up, what's the point? That's not a casual question. That's not something you type with a smile on your face while sipping chamomile tea. That's a soul-level emergency. And if you've ever laid there at 2:47 a.m., eyes wide open, chest tight, brain spinning like a microwave full of metal forks, wondering if you're wasting your entire existence, welcome. You're not alone. That feeling, that weird midnight anxiety cocktail of dread, guilt, and a sudden craving for toast you're not even hungry for, that's not random. That's your alarm clock. Not the one on your phone, the one in your gut. And it doesn't hit when you're busy pretending to have your life together. It waits until the noise dies down and your Netflix is silent and your phone battery's dead and there's nothing left to distract you from the truth you've been dodging. Like, it's your ex at the grocery store. Because deep down, you know you're stuck. You know you're not where you could be. And you've gotten real good at faking fine. You smile when people ask how you're doing. You post a story like everything's awesome. You even laugh at memes about burnout while actively being on fire. But underneath it all, you're wondering how the hell you became the background character in your own movie. No big meltdown, no dramatic crash, just this slow, quiet fade into a version of life that doesn't excite you. You keep saying, it's just a phase. I'm figuring it out. Next month, I'll really start. Meanwhile, months slide by like socks on hardwood floors. And the only thing you've mastered is avoiding your potential like it owes you rent. And I get it, believe me. I've been there, throwing motivational quotes at my depression like glitter on a dumpster fire. But that ache in your chest, that sigh you let out for no reason, that's the part of you that remembers what it was like to be lit up, alive, scared maybe, but awake. And you can keep ignoring it, sure. You can keep scrolling, snacking, numbing, surviving. But that whisper at 2:47 a.m., it's not going anywhere. It's your soul politely losing its patience. It's not saying you're broken. It's saying you're bored. And not because life is boring, but because you're not living the one you're actually meant to live. And until you listen, until you stop hitting snooze on your own damn purpose, that whisper will get louder. It'll mess with your sleep, your focus, your joy. Because the real crisis isn't that you're lost. It's that you're pretending not to be. So yeah, you can wait until everything is perfect and your confidence magically arrives via Amazon Prime. Or you can admit you're uncomfortable, lean into it, and maybe, just maybe, start building the life that doesn't leave you Googling, what's the point at 3 a.m. like it's a normal Tuesday. You ever notice how comfort doesn't come crashing into your life like a wrecking ball? It slips in like a roommate who said they'd just be staying for the weekend and suddenly it's been 3 years and they're wearing your hoodie and eating cereal out of a measuring cup like it's totally normal. Comfort doesn't announce itself. It just slowly makes itself at home while you're distracted with other stuff like being responsible, waiting for the right time, or just needing to rest for a bit. And before you know it, your big scary goals have been replaced with to-do lists that include things like reorganizing your apps and checking the fridge for the 4th time, even though you know nothing new magically appeared in there. But somehow opening that fridge door feels safer than opening an email that might change your life. That's how it works. It seduces you, not with pleasure, but with predictability, with sameness, with just enough ease to keep you docile, but not enough purpose to make you feel alive. And it's tricky because it feels like you're doing okay. Like, sure, maybe you haven't started that thing you said you would back in 2019, and maybe your dreams are collecting a thin layer of emotional dust. But hey, you're not failing, right? You've got clean laundry, you've got snacks, you've got a show you're kind of emotionally attached to. You've even convinced yourself that maybe now just isn't the season for change. as if life is some astrological forecast and transformation only happens in Leo rising with retrograde ambition energy. But here's the kicker. Comfort is a master manipulator. It will convince you that staying still is smart, that not taking the risk means you're mature, that waiting is wisdom. And meanwhile, it is quietly erasing your momentum, watering down your hunger, and spoon-feeding you just enough dopamine to keep you from noticing that your life hasn't moved in years. It tells you things like, let's not rush, you're not ready yet, better safe than sorry. And the most seductive lie of all, there's still time. But the longer you wait, the quieter your instincts get. The harder it becomes to hear that little voice inside you that used to scream, "We were meant for more than this." And now it's whispering. And now you're scrolling. And now you're 6 months into a break that somehow became your whole personality. And I say this with love, but sometimes the most dangerous place to be isn't rock bottom. It's somewhere in the middle. Comfortable. Number. Kind of fine. Not in crisis, not in flow. Just stuck in that lukewarm bathtub of existence where you're not drowning, but you're definitely not swimming either. You're just sitting there, pruning, calling it peace. And you can feel it, can't you? That quiet dissatisfaction, that nagging sense that you're supposed to be doing something else, being someone else. But then comes comfort again, with a weighted blanket, and a slice of pizza, and a new season of whatever. And now you're too cozy to move, too full to fight, too tired to change. And the worst part, it doesn't even feel bad. It just feels easy. And easy will kill more dreams than failure ever will. At least failure means you tried. At least failure has a pulse.
Damn, facts.
Comfort is a slow, silent suffocation. So gentle you don't notice it until you're too used to the lack of air. And look, this isn't me shaming.
That's facts.
This is me calling it out because I've been there. I lived there. I built IKEA furniture in that zone. I hosted dinner parties in that zone. I stayed just busy enough to convince myself I was making progress. When really, I was just walking in circles with purpose-flavored headphones on. But let me tell you something that'll either wake you up or piss you off. If your life feels low stakes and predictable, it's not because it's supposed to be like that. It's because comfort sold you a lie and you bought it with your time, and you don't get time back. So let me ask you, when did comfort become the goal? When did ease become more important than meaning? When did we start believing that surviving was enough when we were built to create, to stretch, to move, to burn bright, not just flicker dimly in some half-lived life that looks good in photos but feels like cardboard from the inside? You weren't made for beige. You weren't made for maybe later. And you sure as hell weren't made to be comfortable. You were made to grow, and growth never ever happens where you're cozy. You ever notice how we've become experts at lying to ourselves? Like Olympic-level mental gymnasts, doing backflips to avoid discomfort? We've turned excuses into poetry. We say things like, "I'm just being patient with the process," when what we really mean is, "I'm scared and I haven't moved in 8 months." Or, "I'm focusing on my mental health right now," when deep down we know we're just avoiding anything that might make us sweat or fail or be seen. Or how about this classic? "I'm just waiting for the right time." Oh, the right time. Yeah, that magical unicorn moment where the skies open, your insecurities vanish, your laundry folds itself, and suddenly you're the person you've been pretending to be on LinkedIn. Let me ask you something, and I mean this with love. When exactly is the right time supposed to show up? When you've hit rock bottom? When Mercury isn't in retrograde? When your mom finally approves? Because I hate to break it to you, but if you're waiting for the stars to align, you're gonna die staring at the sky. The truth is, we're not waiting for the right time. We're waiting to not feel scared. We're waiting to feel ready. But readiness is a myth. Nobody ever feels ready to take the leap. Readiness is comfort zone propaganda. It's the brain's way of hitting snooze on your calling. It's fear dressed up in yoga pants and productivity quotes. And here's the wildest part. We actually think we're being smart. We tell ourselves we're being responsible, strategic, mature. Like, I'll do it later is a solid financial plan. Like, shrinking your dreams makes you a more grounded adult. Number. You know what that really is? It's fear, dressed up as logic. Wearing glasses so it looks smart. And the reason that lie is so dangerous is because it's so convincing. It doesn't sound panicked. It sounds reasonable. It sounds safe. It sounds like something your parents would nod to. But deep down, you know it's not the truth. Because every time you say not yet, a little part of you dies inside. A little part of you knows you're stalling, knows you're hiding, knows you're putting your life on layaway while pretending you're just being wise. But wisdom without movement is just procrastination in a graduation cap. It's wearing a seatbelt in a parked car and calling yourself a safe driver. And I get it. This isn't about laziness. This is about fear. We're afraid of looking stupid. We're afraid of being too much. We're afraid of actually being good at something and having to live up to it. We're afraid of the responsibility that comes with stepping into our potential. So we build this mental sandbox of rational lies. I need to do more research. I'm still working on myself. I just need clarity. You don't need clarity. You need courage. You need to admit that the version of life you've been living is smaller than what you're capable of. And yeah, that's a hard pill to swallow because once you admit that, you can't unknow it. You can't go back to pretending that your life is fine when your gut knows you're built for something more.
Streams under the
and the scary thing is, if you keep lying to yourself long enough, you'll start to believe it. You'll start to call fear fate.
And say hello.
You'll start to wear apathy like a personality trait. You'll laugh it off when people ask how your dreams are going. Oh, you know, just vibing. No, you're not. You're hiding. You're drifting. You're calling it peace, but it's really just quiet desperation in sweatpants. And I say this because I've done it. I was a master of the internal TED Talk, convincing myself that waiting made me wise, that silence made me strong, that being low-key meant I was grounded. But really, I was just scared. And the second I called that lie out, everything changed. Because once you see the cage, you can't pretend it's a castle. So let me say it clear, this life you've been tolerating isn't your final form. This isn't your ceiling. This isn't your forever. This is your wake-up call. The lies we tell ourselves are not protection, they're a prison. And the key? It's in your hands. But you gotta stop pretending you're locked out when really you're just sitting in the cell with the door wide open. Let me tell you a story that still punches me in the ribs when I think about it.
Tell me that
not
shit.
In a poetic, lesson learned kind of way. In a real, heavy, holy I did that kind of way. There was this opportunity once, something I'd wanted for years. I'd worked quietly on this idea, this pitch, something I believed in so much it almost scared me. The kind of idea that keeps you up at night but also makes you feel alive in a way nothing else does. I got the chance to present it to a room full of people who could actually green-light it, make it real, change everything. It was my shot, my moment. You know what I did? I ghosted the meeting. I just didn't show, didn't cancel, didn't explain. I just bailed, disappeared. Told myself I got the time zones wrong. Told myself they probably weren't that interested anyway. Told myself it wasn't ready. But the truth, the brutal, burning, no place to hide truth, is I was scared. Scared it would flop. Scared I'd stutter. Scared they'd say yes, and then I'd have to actually be that version of me I kept saying I wanted to be. That version that terrified me more than failure ever did. So I didn't go. I chose the safe route, the quiet route, the no-risk route. I told myself I was being smart, protecting my peace, avoiding embarrassment, whatever. But here's what no one tells you about avoiding the leap. You still fall, just inward, just silently. You fall into this black hole of regret where you pretend you're okay, but something in you knows you fumbled your future. That moment, that one meeting I bailed on, it didn't just delay a dream. It taught me how easy it is to betray yourself with nice-sounding lies. And you carry that. Not like a scar, because scars at least say you tried, but like a silence, like a blank space in your story or something should have happened but didn't. And every time someone says, remember that one idea you had? It cuts. Because yeah, you do. You remember every detail. The idea, the energy, the fear, the moment you sat in your car.
I don't know how y'all feel about, you know what I'm saying? The message from Wise Joe right here, bro. But like, if you ask me, dog, like there's a whole lot of even things that he's talking about that I could relate on some experience, you know what I'm saying? On some experiential kind of vibe. Like, yo, I don't know how many times, you know what I'm saying, where I've had to break my comfort zone, but not through the perception of like, yo, breakthroughs and like crazy advancements of life and success and this and that and the third, bro. Really getting it from out the mud. And I'm talking about being that nigga that's like by yourself and deciding by yourself that this is what life means for me and this is what I'm gonna stand on and shit like that, because that's what I'm getting from this message right now. You feel what I'm saying? That kind of shit is important, bro, where yes, it's cool to depend on other people, you know what I'm saying, other things like around your environment, because no one human being is an island, you know what I'm saying? You don't exist just by yourself. So your environment is very instrumental in like kind of like building you up and developing you and who you end up becoming. You feel what I'm saying? All the influences, even the human beings around you giving you messages and, you know what I'm saying, perceptions that you can like feed off of and just make sense of like your environment and shit like that. All of that makes you. You know what I'm saying? So it makes sense to depend on that. But like for dear life, existentially though, I feel like, you feel me, like there's an element of independence that comes through like the kind of growth that my boy Wise Joe talking about right here. If you hear me, so shout out that, bro. W on that one right there. Right quick. I just had to, you know what I'm saying, take care of the upload though, right quick though. So I wasn't, you know what I'm saying, the whole awkward moment of like, I don't mind the awkward moment of just staring at motherfucker in the face, like, you know what I'm saying, it's easy, like only with women though. It only works with women. Well, I can just like stare in your face, like, especially if you got a face that's stare worthy. You feel me? Just stare in your eyes, bro. Feel me? Not break a sweat, not blink, not nothing. It's cool. It's normal for me. But like, I understand for y'all. Y'all might just be weird, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Just staring at my face like that. And at the same time, I don't want nobody to be doing that. It doesn't feel right. You understand what I'm saying? So, I had to just jam some Wise Joe so that you could probably get on to whatever you try and get into, like, on the side. You feel me? Like, while you jam this and just, like, listen to it. While I also do my little thing, do my little dance. My upload dance. You feel me? Chop my shit up while we get wiser by the hour. Feel me? Yeah, so it's B-side. Y'all know it's more on the darker side of things, the more gruesome side of things, the more salacious side of things, the more name droppy side of things. You know what I'm saying? We back humans again. We not like higher higher perceptions or higher fountains of knowledge that just share the kind of knowledge that's timeless, right? Right here we like on the trendy things, on like what the fuck matters today kind of shit. You feel me? And right here, bro, we got a shortage of videos. I ain't gonna lie. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Because y'all know I check the title first. I check the title of what's going on. And if it's intriguing enough, I just throw it on the playlist. And then I just check it while we all gather here. You feel me? I think some Astro Dior Plus could work. Simp football prodigy gets humiliated by gold digging girlfriend. Okay, cool. We can throw that on there. You see what I'm saying? So I just like, I check out the title.